Welcome to the Nagual Zone. I'm Anaam. Today we talk about knowledge. Knowledge. As I was telling just now, I was telling the attendees to the masterclass, of which this video is a part. I was saying that this word is much bandied about. It's the holy grail of the Toltec warrior. The Toltec warrior hunts knowledge, so on and so forth, and the Toltec warriors feels amazing because they are hunting knowledge. What is it? What is it? If I say I'm off to hunt a rabbit, you know exactly what I'm doing. But if I tell you I'm off to hunt knowledge, you have no clue what I'm talking about, do you? You just think you do because you've heard that word so many times that you think you know. I just gave you a clue to pretty much every word that you've heard throughout your life. You think you know. You don't. The sky is blue. You have no clue what you're looking at. I promise you this. Take away the words and look at it again. Most importantly, shut up the goblin in your head called the scientist. Shut him up. It is a him, always a him. Shut him up and look at the sky and tell me what you see. There's no way for you to describe what you're seeing. So you know what you think you know what you're looking at because the scientist goblin has been whispering lies and bullshit in your ears. And this bullshit was rigorously grown in you, cultivated in you since you were very young. It's called education. A different topic. However, it is nearly impossible for the average man to believe that words don't actually do anything. Impossible. How do you won't believe it? Right? So, what is knowledge? Knowledge, I will break it down into three parts. What is called knowledge, or what you would, or what we would like to understand as knowledge. I'll break this down in three parts, and they correspond also to a certain word that is term that is used a lot, especially in the New Age circles. So it will really work very well, and hopefully it will clear up a little bit the fog surrounding this word. Knowledge can be broken down into three parts. First is knowledge, experience, knowing. We discussed this a little bit in the previous masterclass last week. And today we're just going to expand upon this topic. It's a very important topic. Knowledge, experience, knowing. This is the way I am putting it across. There's plenty of ways to describe the phenomenon that we're talking about. That is called knowledge. Now, knowledge is where %, we could say, of the average man's consensus insanity arrives at. Experience and knowing, forget about it. Just to arrive at knowledge, only 20, even less, I would say, 10% of the 8 billion, 10% arrive at knowledge. Let's break down this word knowledge. We'll go on to experience and knowing in a bit. What happens is we go around saying, oh yeah, I am gaining knowledge. Books contain knowledge. Knowledge. University, I will gain knowledge by studying in universities. I am doing this course and I am gaining knowledge. What happens is your perception encounters what we call data. Your perception encounters what is called data, which is what in the sea of energy, the particular emanations that hit your luminous bubble, to tie it with the Toltec explanation, the sorcerer's explanation. Not every emanation in the entirety of existence will hit your particular luminous bubble. Only very specific ones will ping against your particular luminous bubble. Your perception will encounter those pings as data, right? That data, enough data will collect about a certain flavor of that ocean of energy pinging at you. Enough data will collect to form information. Information. In formation. Data in formation. So when you have these pings and your perception with the help of your mind and your particular brainwashed filters that are given to you by the parasite, that random data is then collated into information, what you call information, right? When enough information of a particular kind is collected, it will appear as if you have knowledge. Knowledge. I have knowledge. I am a man of science. I am a medical man. I am an architect. I'm a rocket scientist. Knowledge. All it is data has been gathered enough together to become information, and enough information has been gathered to give the impression that knowledge has been gained. But this is the average man's definition of knowledge. This is not the Toltec warrior's definition of knowledge. Now, can you see that merely, I would say even 10% of humans actually get up to the knowledge level? In this day and age especially, almost everyone is doing what? What do you do? When you're walking down the street and you're bored waiting in the queue, what do? You whip out your phone and you do this, don't you? You do this. Or you do this. This is what you do. Typing, texting to your friends and loved ones, emojis. There's no knowledge happening. What's happening? You're exchanging what? Information. That's all. Where are you? I'm at the cafe. Oh, good. I'll be there 5 minutes later. Sozi, see ya, Ima, Ina, Pina, whatever the nonsense nowadays goes for communication. The gradual dumbing down of. Eventually, I think grunts and squeals will be all that's left, and there'll be emojis for 2 grunts mean something, 1 squeal. So grunt, grunt, squeal will mean something to you. And then you'll go squeal, grunt, grunt, and that will be something. Even that's going to happen, because you know what? You'll be sexless, chipped, and connected. All you'll manage is grunt, squeal, squeal. The rest will be given to you by the global AI that's coming, is online right now. What do you think the whole data harvesting is all about? What do you think Alexa is doing in your house? It's a whole different rabbit hole. All right, so most humans will live and die at the level of exchanging information. Some humans will collate certain useful informations that takes focus and discipline and practice, will collate it into knowledge. And they will say I'm knowledgeable, or they will think at least, I'm knowledgeable about this subject. Right? This is not good enough for the warriors. Now let's jump to the warriors' world. What warriors do is warriors are aware of two more stages before warriors call it knowledge. So a warrior will take the data, it will collate itself into information. The mind automatically does it in order to make sense of an utterly alien world. And then that information gathers into clumps called knowledge. The warrior then sets about functionalizing what they know, what they have encountered. A new insight or a bunch of insights that are put together for the warrior is knowledge. And the warrior will then diligently go about converting what they know into experience. This is what separates the men from the boys. You have to take what you know, the myriad of nonsense that you have acquired in your head. Take a little bit of that and functionalize it. Seek to experience that somehow. Create your own experiences of what you know. One of my very common things, maybe if you watch my videos, you may have heard me saying it again and again, certainly my apprentices hear this a lot, is personally, I never speak about anything that I don't have rigorous and long-term personal experience with. And if I do speak about something I don't have personal experience with, I definitely qualify by saying I do not have personal experience of this. However, this is a thing and it's nice for you to hear it, or whatever it is. Especially if I'm to give tasks to my apprentices. Almost never will I give a task that has not been my personal experience, hence becoming my own knowing. That's how warriors work. Everything. My apprentices are expected to eventually lose their human form. I cannot have that expectation of them if I cannot lead them to it eventually, if I don't know the way myself. However, talk to the average man about being present and watch the blah blah start. Blah blah, yeah, I read that book and then I heard that audio tape. And then I attended the seminar. I did a weekend workshop and then I did the king of all present work, Vipassana. I did Vipassana. I've done 10 times Vipassana. What are you saying? I am Vipassanist. Vipassana, one of the most useless wastage of time you can indulge in. You will come away, if you had this much spiritual ego when you went into to Vipassana, you will come out with where's my hands? You come out with this much 10 times, because now you've done Vipassana. You know about the molecules. Your perception has expanded. Now you know you just, oh yeah, wow, just, oh. The only problem is, if you ask your partner, hey, before Vipassana I was an asshole, during Vipassana I was an asshole, am I an asshole still? Guess what your partner will say to you? Guess what your kids will tell you? Guess what your mom will tell you? Yeah, that mom that you live with, on her money. Guess what she'll tell you? She'll tell you, yeah, strange that, you should ask. If I'm honest, you're still an asshole. Be honest now. You Vipassanists, You shouldn't be watching this video because this crumbles your house of cards. But Buddha said it was useful. Buddha was a fucking fool, you know that? The guy was a crackhead, crazy, completely nuts, crazy. He was crazy. He was one of those crazy geniuses that you don't want to follow. Seriously, you don't want to follow. You don't want to follow the Dalai Lama. These are puppets of the parasite. Buddha is just a figure in fiction. It's as real as Batman. The parasites made up these figures, these people. Right? That's another rabbit hole. Once how do you explain, if you ever watched the movie The Truman Show, how do you explain to Truman that literally everything he's known his whole life is fake? How do you explain that to him? But surely the Buddha should be real. Nah, sorry, fake, studio. Behind your world is studio and cameras. Right? All fake history. Another rabbit hole entirely. Once, through rigorous application of knowledge, the warrior has acquired experience. There is a cool-off period. There's a time period when that experience is allowed to settle into a form of, you could call it intuition, inner tuition, or knowing. I call it knowing. Once it has settled into a firm knowing, I know this, then the warrior, the Toltec warrior at least, will claim that, okay, I have knowledge of this. You understand? And I'm encouraging you to follow the same road. Don't settle for information. Now, guess what? This video, what level is this video at? What level is this video at? You think you're getting knowledge? No. You're gathering information. This is why I always say, don't believe your own bullshit, let alone anyone else's, including mine. Don't believe this bullshit. That will force you to verify it through experience. Because you know what? After the knowledge bit, it's hard work. No one wants to put in the hard work. Really, no one. You have to be dragged into it screaming, and warriors go into it willingly, but that's their particular trick. The average man, just no way, it's too much hard work. I'd rather pay, I need to pay my rent, and I have the knowledge. I don't need experience in knowing, what am I going to do with all that? No. I can talk very impressively in the Nagual zone Telegram group, so impressive, breatharian, fruitarian, I am this, I am lots of knowledge, right? I'm writing a book, and I'm writing a space odyssey, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. Plenty of fools thinking that knowledge is enough. Don't let it be enough for you. Don't be that fool. Don't be that fool. Knowledge is not enough. Fine, you've gathered a lot of information, and some things have started making sense to you about that information. Insights are coming, realizations. Oh, yes. I'm a big shot now. No, you aren't. You have no experience of it. Hence, you could never know it. Men, let me make this clear to you what I mean. I'll make it very clear to you once and for all. It's like you reading a book about pregnancy and thinking you know all about childbirth. Now go and talk to a woman who's had a child. Case closed. This is your entire life. This is what you do, don't you? This is what you do. This is what you're doing with this video. a male gynecologist. Imagine that, a male gynecologist. I laugh at these people's faces. But how dare you? I am the most reputed male gynecologist. I make more money per case than you. I help so many women. Oh, you fool. You poor sod. You have no clue, do you? Look at you. But I'm a nice man. Yeah, wrong answer. Warriors are not fooled by nonsense of the average man's world. It's a consensus insanity. It's a collective insanity. Do what you like. Knock yourself out being a male gynecologist if you want. But don't think you will ever get to the stage of knowing. You won't. You'll always remain at the stage of knowledge which for Toltec warriors is the basic, is the beginning. We begin from there. And I urge you to go to experience and then knowing. All that knowledge you have acquired in your life, I challenge you, take 1%, tiny bit of what you know, tiny bit, and seek to convert it into experience through repeated experimentation. Take 5 to 10 years in doing that. By that time, it will have converted into knowing for you. You will know it. You will really know it. And you will have such a firm base in that one thing that after pursuing that journey thoroughly and to its inevitable conclusion, you will arrive at self-knowledge. All knowledge leads to self-knowledge. You need one journey of knowledge, experience to knowing. One, it doesn't matter what. And you will know yourself so much more than when you started. And that's the only knowing you ever need to focus on. Does this start to make sense? So don't get distracted by the fluff stuff and the bling bling. The herbal channel on Instagram and the acupuncture channel and the meme channel and the spiritual quotes channel and the Jesus channel and the blah channel and the Oprah Winfrey channel and the this channel. And how much are you gonna take in, man? How much? How much is enough for you? How much before you back out and say, enough, I don't want any more information. The problem is you're addicted. You have been made addicted. Strategically and relentlessly. You have been made addicted to remain at the level of information with the amount of information that comes at you all day long. Look around the ads that you face every day. That's information. That's information with a bias. In other words, it's called brainwashing. I'll leave this there. Food for thought. Mulch on this video. It may be the most important video you will see if you let it be that. And slow down. Take a little bit, convert it into experience and knowing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them. I'll see you next week. Walk in freedom. Farewell.